We're coming to the Rhode Island School of Design to run an experiment that we will bring to the United Nations. How is it to develop new objects that you can introduce into a workshop in order to spark new thoughts within the United Nations?
We need to dedicate some time to break the way we think.
You still have to learn from everyone, and especially like young people, trying to trigger some questions.
What is the context in which you're viewing the object going to lead you to think about the connections that you're making? The word institution implies a very defined structure, and being able to challenge those kinds of fundamental assumptions for an institution is really important.
You don't know where you're going to end up, but you have to know how to take the journey. When you're trying to conceive a new idea, you really have to be able to go beyond the obvious, kind of trusting the process. When you feel yourself getting into that loop where you're just repeating the same things, you have to pull yourself out of the physical space.
Everyone's creative, but we have to give them the power to do it. It was great to see discovery. In many ways, we forget that we are still kids.
Innovation means breaking the accustomed way of doing and working.
Innovation is keeping an open mind and being willing to change.
That's something the organization needs to have because we are facing new challenges in the world.
In this project, we have grouped together these amazing artists who have created these beautiful objects for peace. We invite our colleagues to join us together for a workshop.
I'm not really sure what we are going to do. I'm more interested in how other people will view the objects.
I'm really excited. With this workshop, we can come up with ideas that can help us do better work in the context of peace and security.
Artists and designers made all of these objects for today. We're going to bring to the table. What is the future of collaboration?
I expected a good time. Yeah, I expected something different, and that was definitely what happened.
I think this one is about direction and this one is about direction.
We played with objects and tried to make meaning together.
It became a bit of an exploratory, and then there were some words that we were asked to look at in relation to the objects. In mediation, for instance, one party is more privileged than the other party, kind of an interpretation of bringing together two parties.
I found this very sturdy, but also circular, because trust in that regard has to be circular.
Trust, that resonates with me. A lot of our work is based on fundamentals that need trust.
The most disturbing element is these cans, but perhaps this can be a way that we can turn something that can be so polluting into a piece of art.
This one represents Western culture's like institution somehow.
Colleagues mentioned that for them this represented institutions. I'm Pakistani and I'm Muslim. A Greek pillar doesn't represent institutions to me.
It's just great to see how other people think.
Such an activity is important because it challenges us to push our boundaries.
We should not forget how important it is to focus on imagination.
A lot of it has to do with the change of thinking, taking time to reflect, and then making those changes in your work on a day-to-day basis.
For my next brainstorming session with my team, I will definitely copy the work that I saw today.
In order to stay engaged, we have to be open to surprises, to discovery, to remember to be curious. Work should be a little bit more like play in order to give work meaning.
So let's wrap this around the category.